And joining us now for more insight is the former Homeland Security Department advisor and the CEO of Sentinel Security Solutions. His name is Charles Marino, and we thank you, Charles, for being with us today in this breaking news situation. You're also the author of a new book entitled Terrorists on the Border and in Our Country. Let me just ask you, at first blush here, given the sketchy details and the conflicting reports, what do you make of what's happening there on the Rainbow Bridge at Niagara Falls?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to first explore the backdrop, which it has all of us looking at possible terrorism here. It's the United States has never faced more threats from more places at any time in our history. Against the backdrop of open borders, our southwest and northern borders are seeing increases in special interest aliens from locations of concern. We're seeing increases of those on the terrorist watch list. And we're seeing conflicts in the Middle East involving two terrorist organizations and more, Hamas and Hezbollah, proxies of Iran. And we know that the threat level is elevated here in the United States. The FBI Director Wray has stated so publicly in front of Congress, describing our current threat level as at a whole nother level. So there's a lot of concerns here. And unfortunately, we don't have a specific conclusion yet as to whether this was deliberate or tied to terrorism. But right now, it doesn't look good.
You talked about the southern border, and we hear periodically about the security threats coming from the northern border as well. Can you describe the situation there? Obviously not as in the same crisis stage, I think it's safe to say, as the southern border, but still a porous border with plenty of vulnerabilities.
Yeah, still very concerning. We're seeing the numbers in the areas that we're concerned with that I just described go up on par with those that we're seeing on the southwest border. We're seeing numbers up almost 800% in general of Chinese nationals. And we're seeing encounters from locations, the same of which we're seeing at the southwest border. So let's understand that these threats can come in through both borders, and we need to recognize that. And that's why you need consistency in a border enforcement strategy and immigration enforcement to stay consistent. And otherwise, there's no deterrence at either one of our borders. And that's the situation right now. There's too many unknown unknowns. We've got gotaways at 2 million. We don't know the backgrounds of many of these people. And then let's not forget, we also have many people that avoid detection altogether, and we have no idea what those numbers are. So look, it's not a good environment for us to be in right now, where people are walking around prior to the holidays, attending large events, and being so rightfully concerned about the level of threat in our country right now.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.